as a result of the activities of these cyber criminals, there are technological facilities that are available to other countries for which we are banned as a country and as a people. So what those people do affects the reputation, the character, and integrity of almost everybody. There are some social media handles you will go, and they offer some facilities of financial rewards to some other nations. They will say that your country is not one of it. A nation of about 224 million people. And unfortunately, when things like this happens, it doesn't restrict itself to the people who are involved. So, what do we do as a country when we are faced with this? The approach are two. The first one is the prosecution, which the EFCC has been statutorily empowered to do. And because if there is no law and there is no agency that will specifically tackle this issue, it could have been worse. But the second aspect of it, which the spokesperson has pointed out, is how can we harness the ingenuity of these young people for the good of our country? Because if you have the skill, the knowledge, and the speciality of using the tools available in cyber to defraud someone, you also have that knowledge on how you can make legitimate earning out of it. If you go back to history, the generation in 1900s, among the most richest people in the world, you have bankers, you have industrialists, you have oil magnates, you have insurance, shipping, and all sorts of those category of industry as the richest people in the world. But today, when you put Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Bezos of Amazon, you see, it's all about technology. So technology is the wealth of the 21st century. And I believe that, you see, we are so blessed as a country. We excel in every field. If you go around the world today and you are talking of some of the top evangelical personalities in the world, Nigerians are on the side of the Muslims. When we go to Quranic recitation competition with the Arabs, we beat the Arabs. And in several fields. So this is an area which I believe that if we can use it, it can generate more money to us than even the oil we have all been rallying around. So how do we tackle this problem? Yes, we have a law. A law that says if you do this, you'll be dealt with that. But you see, most of these people that are involved in this, they don't know the consequences of what they are doing. Because you think the consequences is about arresting them and taking them to jail. But it is a lifelong destruction of themselves. Because when you are young, you are in your teenagers or early 20s, there are things you will do in the next 20 to 30 years that will still be haunting you. Take, for example, if you are in secondary school, you have been reported once to have stolen a goat, and you were arrested. know that after secondary school you go to university and then you rise in career and then you become whatever, and then you simply print your poster and paste it and come for a political debate. That issue will come forward. So it's not that it's just about taking them to prison because they don't know. So what we need to know, despite they knew how to defraud and collect money and do these things here, but they don't know that it has a long-term effect in their own history life. So my emphasis strongly is that the way we rehabilitate militants, the way we rehabilitate terrorists in northeastern part of Nigeria, and I believe that that is an issue, even though it will be difficult, because when you see a young man of 16, 17 riding some of the most expensive cars, buying houses, because these are things which as a young man, you think you will get it in 60, 40, 50 years. Now he's getting it at the age of 17, 18. So no matter what it is, we have a law that takes care of it. But we should do everything possible to see how this country that is so richly blessed can utilize technology and the opportunity that avails in the cyberspace. The National Assembly to regulate the social media. The first one happened in the 8th Senate, where a senator from Kebbi State, in the person of my friend Senator Bala Ibn Allah, submitted a proposal before the Senate for the regulation of the social media. But as a result of civil objection and protest from the general public, the Senate was compelled to stand down that bill. The second attempt was under the Ahmed Lawan's National Assembly, where two senators from Niger State made a proposal. Sani and Sadi made a proposal for a bill to regulate the social media. And from the content of that bill, you can see that they posited that the social media has become the source of cyberbullying, misinformation, and also a tool for the stabilization of the country. But you can't imagine a country without social media in the 21st century. We have seen in some countries where there were interventions to regulate seriously the social media. Brazil has banned X, and Australia itself has made an intervention on restricting the social media. But the question is, this is the only tool to hold the leaders accountable. Social media has become a people's parliament, where people can freely express themselves, and you can see changes in place. But like one of the person who made the speech here, he said there are a good side of it and the bad side of it. The bad side of social media is that it is a source for misinformation. It has also become a tool for cyberbullying, and people have become mentally addicted to it, and so many things that are attached to it. And nowadays, we are struggling to pull our kids out of the phones which we bought for them. On the other good side of it is that it is a strong weapon for advocacy and activism. You can't imagine the way the country is run in the last 25 years if there is no social media. During the military time, for us to organize a protest, we have to print leaflets, meet in the night, reach out to people, knock on doors, and then appoint to meet at a certain point. But today you create a WhatsApp group, and that's why you can see the June 12 protest in 1993 was not as impactful as the NSAS and the N-backed governance protests, because the two protests were protests that benefited from the availability of social media. So we prefer a country that has a social media that can hold leaders to account than to have a country without social media. It's going to be complete darkness. So the problem we have today is when leaders say they need to regulate social media, it's not about the misinformation. It's not about the crime that is perpetrated. People simply want to operate without being questioned. And if this happens, it's going to be tyranny. Thank you very much.